So we have dynamic international business motivational speaker and media entrepreneur, energizing MC, and award-winning entertainer today. And also, I'm so happy to announce the MC for the Speaker Showcase, first ever in Austin, Texas, Miss Lynn Rose. Welcome, Lynn. Welcome.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you.
Welcome. So, a lot of people think an MC just introduces speakers. What do you actually do?
Yes. Well, I feel like I have a unique lens with that because even from the very beginnings, before I even became a speaker, and having come from entertainment and media, and also, frankly, I was a 17-year-old playing Wonder Woman, doing singing telegrams, having to learn how to navigate a crowd, get their attention, keep it, think in the moment, all of that. And then when you do entertainment and you're doing those big events, not just singing, you're also, keeping the crowd engaged. And then I was emceeing events before I even became a speaker, more than a decade ago. And an MC, it's so funny. I've seen events where they think an MC is just coming in, making an introduction so that they can have someone as a through line. An MC, when you get the right MC, sets the tone. It's the energy that gets created. It gets the audience excited, engaged. It keeps echoing back a point made from a previous speaker, bringing them transitioning with elegance and ease and fun, or direction and focus into the next speaker or what's coming next. It echoes the strong points. It also gets that entertainment and creates an experience that then connects the audience all the more to the overall event. It becomes such an important through line. And I've seen events where they've had MCs and maybe they've done a nice, decent job of making introductions, but there's a missed opportunity for creating this out of the box, special, engaging experience. And that to me is so important, along with being able to, when things go wrong, being able to make it look like everything flows, being able to fill in
Absolutely.
those moments, speaking into what's ever coming up in that moment. Oh, there's so many factors. Of course, we're going to talk about that. But to me, an MC is far more than just introducing speakers.
Right. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And, as you know, I've seen tons of MCs and been through tons of MCs. Been with the ones who just introduce one thing after another. I've been with MCs who were totally mismatched for the audience, just did not have the polish, didn't have the vocabulary to connect with the audience. It's such a special thing. I think the MC is like the seasoning to the conference. It's like adding seasoning to the conference. Like you add seasoning to a recipe and it makes it pop. Same is true for an MC. So, I mean, we're all about creating experiences with conferences. We spend tons of money. We create awesome venues. We go to all this trouble to create an experience for people because we want them to be transformed and we want them to remember the event. But so many people really don't understand how incredibly valuable an MC can be, which
Mhm.
is why I'm so glad you're coming with us for this ride.
Me too. And it has
So,
an added value factor too, because there's many MCs that, get to have other facets they bring. And, of course, for me, I've kind of known where I get the audience engaged and dancing. And if that's right, sometimes they don't want that. And then I can play in the very more straight ahead
yep,
professional type of way.
yep.
Not that it's not professional, but I mean, there's certain types and feelings that they want. But when you can
Well,
create that added value, it's out of the box.
absolutely. Well, and then, as we've talked about before, we have a whole new ball game now with the whole AI thing. And I think any speaker at this point needs to be not only well versed in their content and how to deliver their content, but how to work with the meeting planner on site to really um, I guess, promote and enhance that speaker's stage presence. And to your point, an MC is invaluable. This in this day and age, with the level of technology that we're dealing with, to be able to bring that consult to the meeting planner on site and help them not just by introducing and being the through line to what's going on at the conference, but the technology aspect of it as well.
Yeah, and I love technology. I'm a tech founder, in fact, in a whole other life that I get to bring to the world. And I love what AI can do, and I have that creative mind. And so when you can have an MC that also understands AI, and as you say, works with the meeting planner, which I love to do, and MC should do anyway, having done thousands of events can see and connect dots of what could be a creative way to create even more of an experience or what needs to be known and how we can really make it flow. And because there's things that they may not even be aware of it because you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of events under your belt, you can bring that to the table. But same
Absolutely.
with AI, because now with AI, what we can create, if they so desire, is out of the box. And
Absolutely.
being able to speak AI as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Just knowing what the capabilities are. So that brings me to the question
Yes.
then. So we're going to have a fun but very fast paced, sort of intense morning on July 24th. So, what's your strategy? What have you been thinking about? How are you going to tie these 13 different speakers together in a through line?
Isn't that interesting? Well, so I love the way that you asked that question, but here's what I know is I know I speak into the moment as to what is needed. So I'm listening to every speaker and I catch the key points. And then when I'm coming on, I then speak what I feel in that moment is most relevant to then echo back from what they just shared and anchor in that point and experience they just created and then
Mhm.
bringing in the next speaker and then setting that and teeing that up for success. So obviously being very tuned in to who everyone is, so I'm all the more prepared with that. But I allow the moment to lead because the moment you might have everything perfectly planned, and then the moment dictates something else. And
Absolutely.
so I love following the moment while being prepared. So I'm one of the things I know too is I believe so much in engagement and making really bringing the audience in as part of the experience. So
Right.
I will look for where those moments happen in connecting with the crowd or echoing something and really creating it like we're in this together.
Absolutely. And I think that's why one of the reasons we're so excited to have you with us that morning. It's going to feel like one cohesive event as opposed to 13 vignettes, which I
Oh,
love. That's
completely,
great.
completely.
That's great.
Here I'm now turning it back on you, if that's okay, Gina.
Yeah.
So you're we're part of International Association of Speaker Bureaus. You've been around 30 years or so. What you've
Well,
done
I've been in the industry for a while. Yes.
for a while. Yes, for a
Yeah.
while. Let's just say a long time to know
Yeah.
what it takes and watch it evolve and evolve with it. And so 10 years ago, that's where we connected and we got to meet was at the International
Yes.
Association.
Back in 2014. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. It's
And they
been
had
that.
Mel Robbins was speaking, was part of that, and some other really
Uh,
key players.
yes. Mel Robbins was there. She
Mhm.
was. I remember that now. Yes.
And I bring that back to you because you said something to me that really meant a lot to me, but it also showed me the importance of what we're talking about here. Because it's been 10 plus years or something. And
Right.
then you were thinking, who would you have as an MC? And you said out of that event, what you remembered was that experience that got created in that period of time
Well,
in your memory. So I'd love to
yes.
hear from you.
Out of that event and and in the face of all the MCs that I have hired since then for different types of events and all the MCs that I've seen for different types of events, what I saw and remembered about you was the stage presence, the polish, and the energy.
Ah, that's so
Yeah, which is what we need. Which
right.
is what we need. I there could have there could have been an MC who's a magician who just introduces me. That's not what I want for this audience. And I mean, I just you're perfect. You're perfect.
Oh,
So
thank
so
you.
glad that you were available.
Oh, me
Um,
too. So are
yeah.
we going to do what in that environment for that you from 10 years ago, it was a smaller environment because,
Yep.
it's like 30,
Yep.
50 people or something. And
Right.
and you're going to have it this speaker showcase about 65, I think you said.
That's about what we're anticipating. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
much smaller, much more intimate event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I don't know if you are allowing it to be able to begin in the way that I love to begin, which gets to create an out of the box experience, get them connected, and then energized, which actually helps scientifically, helps people to all the more be open and available to receive whatever information is happening and be even more awake to sustain during the time. And in IASB, which is an International Association of Speaker Bureaus, we had gotten folks up and dancing and moving
Yes.
along with the,
Yes.
song. And it's just a special way that I do it and
Yep.
lead it. But
So, yeah.
people have
So,
their choice or not.
absolutely.
But yeah,
Yep. Yep. I mean, part of the run of show, we'll do that for all the meeting planners out there who know what a run of show is. For all
yes,
those
yes,
who don't know what a run of show is, it's the agenda for the meeting. But yeah, there's a short period of introduction, and I'll be introducing you. At which point, you'll get everybody up on their feet and make some acknowledgments. And yeah, absolutely. I wish we had more time.
oh,
Unfortunately, we have a half day. But hey, we'll probably do this again.
it's so successful, and you literally are having the best of the best. Like
Right,
when I looked at your roster, I went,
right.
oh, this is going to be phenomenal. I would
Yeah.
want to be in that audience just to absorb the genius and the brilliance and the
Yes.
experience and the fun and the interactivity
Yes.
that's going to happen.
Absolutely. I have some of the best speakers, some of the most seasoned.
Mhm.
Everybody there is a speaker that I have personally worked with, personally seen. And I totally believe in their content. And I've seen them in front of audiences. I've seen what they bring to the table. So I'm super excited. It's a very strong lineup.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In your opinion, let's take this to the point of, some other reasons to attend the showcase. But
Yeah.
I think it goes without saying, one of the reasons meeting planners want to attend any of the big events that have speakers, whether it's MPI, whether it's one of the SHRM national events, I think they're there partly because they want to see speakers. So, what do you get as a meeting planner from seeing a speaker live that you don't get with video?
Oh, so you're asking me if I were to use that lens, what the answer would be?
Yeah, if you were to use that lens, what would you think?
Well,
What would the meeting planner get from,
well,
why is it worth the time to do this?
Well, first of all, you want to know for sure the experience that you're booking is the experience that will show up. And I say that because I'm in media. I know the power of how you can creatively edit and you can make something look versus what the actual experience may be. And
Mhm.
I had actually been at an event, this was last year, and I'm going to say this for a reason and a purpose as to why it matters. And I hear this all the time from speaker bureaus and meeting planners. So I was at where I'm going with this. So I was at Eugentic AI, huge event, 500, investors, founders, leaders in the world of AI. And they were going to be raising some millions of dollars and, really launching this new company. And they had hired an MC off of his video that was local. I think they were trying to maybe save money because they were spending so much money
Mhm.
with at the Ritz-Carlton and all this. And I last minute said, I knew the gentleman who was putting it on. I'd actually done some events for him before, but he thought I couldn't make it. And I went and called him and said, the day before, hey, I'm going to be there. And hey, since I'm there, if you want, I can kick it off for you and what I do. And he went, oh, let's do that. But what happened is that gentleman that they hired from the video came on, and then it was like bad Toastmasters, like right
Oh,
from the start. And you imagine everyone's like, oh, this is uncomfortable. It was just kind of reading off the thing and boring and no energy and flat. And then I got to, come on and get the crowd going and do the whole thing. Plus, the gentleman knew what I can do as an MC. And then once I was done, they came and tapped me on the shoulder because I just wanted to be at that event. I love AI. I'm on top of the, leading stuff going on in AI. And he tapped me on the shoulder and they took me outside and they said, "We cannot have him leading this event. This is too important. It's like 3-day event." And they
Mm,
literally took him off the bill, put me on for the rest, and they paid me, of course. They said, "We'll pay you. We'll pay you your
wow.
fee." But it just shows that it's so important and video can make some, and they were kind of stunned because they thought that gentleman was going to be great. But what
Yeah.
will they really deliver? You'll know when you're there in person. And that's when you
Absolutely.
can know with confidence.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the other thing too, I think, which is unique with a showcase, when you go to an MPI event or you go to one of the, the national meeting planning conference events, there's about 6 or 7. There's always the main stage speakers. They're doing a full keynote. But I think one of the things that's really cool and kind of interesting about doing a showcase is because the speakers are limited to 12, in our case, it's 12 minutes, to 15 minutes, it really forces the speaker to bring the very best they've got. And you can literally see them adapting on the fly. So you know what you're going to get. Not only that, but you can really compare them side by side. Because when you've got 3 or 4 speakers at an event and they're doing keynotes maybe over a day or two, it's different than when it's like a speaker fashion show. You get to literally compare them. They're like, and I think that's what's one of the things that's really cool too. Not to mention all the camaraderie and the fact that you can network with your colleagues and peers and meet some new people in your city and whatnot. So I think that's great.
Yes. Love it.
But honestly, I mean, I think you bring so much to this event because, I mean, one of the things that is so important, we touched on this earlier, is the whole idea these days of conferences is creating lasting, memorable experiences. That's what every meeting planner is striving to do. And it used to be, I've been in the business for a while. It was super easy. You just rented out a venue, you had some nice dessert, you hired a motivational speaker, and that's what the crowd expected. These days, I think people who attend conferences are so much more sophisticated. They've got so much more on their mind. And, they're there for a purpose. They want to solve a problem, they want to learn something, they want to come away transformed. So, what used to work doesn't work anymore. And it's all about creating the memorable event experience, which, for better or worse, lands in the lap of the meeting organizer.
Hmm.
That's the benchmark. So, that
So creating interesting, creative ways you can add that experience. And an MC can absolutely pop in and do that. But also as a meeting planner in general, there's
Yeah,
so many things you can do now to
right.
really add so much value to an event.
Absolutely. What else would you like to talk about?
Well, I will just share because I love this piece of it. And I think this is important if it is a type of thing where you might have panels or someone special on. And then when it comes to moderating, I love to
Hmm.
do that. I came from having a nationally syndicated radio show and hosting TV shows and interviewed Demi Moore and Stan Lee, so having that facility, I love to be able to do that. And I think if someone's looking at either an MC or someone you're going to bring on board, not just hand that over to an executive to lead,
Right.
even though sometimes you want to because you want to have them feel good. But that is also an art and a skill, and being able to speak into that moment of moderating, and that's just something that I love to do as well. And I would say just to at least to speak to meeting planners and to what to think about is to recognize in the creative ways that you can be able to interact.
Hmm.
Using AI, you can create things like this. And, certainly when I work with folks, I like to be able to do that. Like I want to
Right.
create for you, which hopefully as folks come, we will have this and we can create it easier than one might think. And that
Yeah.
is this interactive page so that as you're experiencing them, you're able to take your notes, you'll be able to go to various facets, you'll be able to have that rating, but it's far. more interactive, more supportive, more added value than just how things have been before when you maybe have a typical site,
Right.
typical page.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm really excited to see what you do with that. I think that's going to showcase in your case a little bit about what you can do with the technology. Um, I mean, I'm old school. I'm still going to have the book and the
Yeah,
pen,
yeah, yeah. Because some people
but
want that. Yeah.
I am super excited for what um, kind of interaction the meeting planners can have on their devices with this, with
Mhm.
with what you're going to bring to the table. It's awesome, and I think being able that's just one example of what you as a seasoned MC bring to the table, and that's what separates a professional MC from someone who's just a person who's there to moderate. So I am very much looking forward to that. So what are you most looking forward to at the event,
Oh
Lynn?
my gosh, Gina. Well, first of all, it is my love. It is my passion. I just I just love this so much, especially because it's different every time. And I really honor and allow, as I was saying before, like the moment to lead and what you can bring to the table with that. But for me, in that environment, with the best of the best, one after another, and being able to be part of a through line for that, it's going to be like being in a playground. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to love the camaraderie. I'm going to love meeting whatever meeting planners. If you come to this, I would love to meet you and connect. I'm going to love being with and almost everyone that you have on here I know from the industry. And so it is like a family and just how we get to
Yes.
understand each other and get to have this incredible high level
Yes.
of conversation and energy and connection and emotional intelligence. So for me, it's talk about an experience. It's going to be my highlight, and we've got National Speakers Association event right after that,
Yes.
right off.
Yes.
But for me, I'm most excited about this.
So Austin is going to be swimming in professional speaking talent that
I
weekend,
know, right?
starting with our event. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So you are a professional speaker. You're a motivational speaker. You're quite capable of giving a full-on keynote in addition to
Oh, I love to do it.
being an MC. So, and you have obviously shared the stage with some incredible talent. So, my question to you is this: if you were a meeting planner
Mhm.
attending the showcase,
Mhm.
given what you know about speaking and the benchmark for what makes a really great speaker,
Mm.
what characteristics, what would you be looking for in the speakers that you're observing?
Oh, I
Tell me
love
some
that
tell me some things.
question.
What should they be honing in on?
I love that question. We want to look for what are they dropping that lands that would create lasting impact. And part of that is an experience in some form or fashion in how they deliver their points, whatever those points are. And it's all over the map from sales, from technology, from mindset, right? I mean, you could fill in the blanks of the rest. But I also want to add this piece because I've been seeing over time, including even in the TV hosting days, it's been shifting way over time over the, couple decades. But it used to be you have to be very professional and have to have every little thing memorized and speak like this. And then that actually creates a little bit of a wall, a little bit of a disconnect. And these days, with social media, with the way things have been evolving, you want what's real. You want it to feel like a conversation. And yet, being professional and giving the information, but not overly stiff and overly practiced and rehearsed that feels like it's old school. So I would even look for what is creating that extra connection and that conversation because especially the younger generation, they can smell it and they get turned off by it.
Absolutely. It's such a turnoff.
Yeah.
Such a
Yeah.
turnoff. Well, I think the time savings is going to be a big deal. I think the camaraderie is going to be a big deal. I think the networking is going to be a big deal.
Oh,
Speakers are
huge.
awesome. And again, we are so excited, Lynn, that you agreed to join us and to be the star of our show. So Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you again on July 24th. And it's going to be a fun day.
Oh.
We're going to have a great morning.
It is going to be so fun. I'm so honored. I've gotten to enjoy just falling in love with who you are as we've been in this process, and more to come as we work towards this. And
Yeah.
hopefully, you all come to this showcase, even if you're flying in for it, because it will be worth it for who you
Yes.
see, who you get to connect with, and in Austin, which is so fun. Plus, you might be
Yes.
coming anyway for the National Speakers Association, all the more to,
Yes.
have that
No,
networking,
actually,
connecting.
what a great opportunity. I mean, I would actually encourage meeting planners to petition for the budget to show up because I mean, we are kicking off the weekend with this event with our 13 speakers,
Mhm.
but there's going to be incredible talent at NSA and
Yeah.
lots and lots of examples of speakers. I know several meeting planners who attend NSA on an annual basis because it's one of the few places where they can actually meet, discuss opportunities with speakers, and actually hear them speak in addition to our event. So,
Ah,
yeah,
and Sarah Michael, who's a former president of the Meeting Planners Association, she's always there every year. So
yes,
she
yes,
understands the power of that
yes,
event as well. So it's what a 1-2 punch if you can do both.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk to me, and I appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you.
Thank you. Me too. We're gonna have fun.
We are
Come join us.
absolutely.